Okay, friends, I think I'm back. Bizarre. For some reason, my computer just decided to stop acknowledging that my cam link existed. Um, I did have a tweak yesterday of some settings on my camera, and I'm wondering if maybe that's what has caused it. Thank you, Rough Turtle. Yes, because I've been setting up my stream and my everything to get back into filming some YouTube tutorial videos and so forth. So, um, yeah, so I was tweaking some settings and doing some recording of stuff yesterday. I think that may be part of the problem. But the last thing I did last night was open up OBS and the camera was working fine. So, oh well. We're back. Yeah, good questions. So my first tutorials that I'm filming will be for a board game, but I'm going to structure them as if someone who's watching the tutorials has never watched any of my content. So it'll be very much a new experience uh, aimed at people who've not painted before. How to achieve a variety of results, talking about different techniques. That's my plan for the moment. I'm not sure the way I paint is fully conducive to brand new painters, but something along those lines. That was weird. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, the board game that I'm going to be painting is called I've Sworn Into the Deep Wood. The plan for recording that content is to paint each of the basic character figures in the game. There's 12 of them. And for each character, just focus on a slightly different topic. The topic, painting skin tones, painting leather, painting metals, something like that. I'll still paint the whole figure. Probably still cut the video together, so you can see the whole paint job. I think, but I'll slow down the paint job for the specific topic. G'day, Mini Mensa. It's been an interesting couple of weeks for me. So my passion and enthusiasm for painting doesn't really change. I'm always pretty pumped to paint stuff, but there'll certainly be times when I don't have enthusiasm for a specific project, and that's when I tend to start floating around a variety of projects, and I think that's probably been the case for the last few weeks, where my content has been a bit scattered as I've painted different things and not really had a drive to knock over a specific a specific project, and I'd like to change that, but that is very much driven by what project I'm enthusiastic about at the time. And at the moment, the project that I'm enthusiastic about is this Oathsworn project. So it's very difficult to get pumped up about painting a new bust or a new figure when all I want to do is paint those Oathsworn figures. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out. Oh, and if it wasn't already clearly specified, Oathsworn has not arrived yet. So the figures have not arrived at my house, which makes it extremely hard to want to paint them. Yeah, it's less about taking it easy, mate. Like, because I'm still painting and still doing stuff. It sort of comes across from a streaming perspective, like it's all a bit, you know, unfocused and scattered, which it is. I'm not ready to dive into the Scale 75 Zodiacs project. I'm going to do that after Oathsworn. I am not ready to do any significant projects just yet. So that leaves me with trying to find these little projects in between that I can just kick around with, you know, like Moonface and this chick. But I was chatting to my girlfriend yesterday about the vampires from Kal Rudik, vampires that are coming. I reckon that may be the next big project that we tackle, because I'm pretty keen on those figures. Pretty keen indeed. So, I'm pretty sure I built it right, yeah. She's dancing. So we will have another big project starting soon. It'll be the vampires. After I get through my painting of Oathsworn. And if you don't like that, you can suck it. Suck it, Trebek. That's the one. Yep. I think I've come up with a plan for that. Silent killers. Do I want to become famous? I already am famous, silent killers. G'day, Vipertron. Oh, I do take that as a compliment, mate. Probably one of my weaknesses as a painter, I think in general, is I do tend towards those barbarians and angry fighting people. But it's nice to branch out and paint something like this every once in a while. Make sure you flexing your creative muscles. Yeah, I think these figures from Ignis Art are really some beautiful, beautiful figures. They've got 3 or 4 in this, like 75. I think it's called 75 mil Dreams range. That's yeah, really awesome, really awesome. And in this vein, you know, of different stuff that you wouldn't normally see. Oh, AJ Scorp. That's two of these little doofuses in a row. AJ Scorp, all you got to do is say something for me, mate. Just say hi, Deno. Big fan of your work. And I'll come to Mount Follows or whatever the fuck it's called and buy your stuff. Come on, AJ. Just once. Just say, Big Deno, I love you. And I'll be there. I'll be there. You've let yourself down, AJ. You had a chance, mate. You had a chance. Piss off. Thanks, K-Sauce. In the vein of what we're going to do next, though, because I don't think Oathsworn's going to be here until later on in the week, maybe. Well, just a few. We're going to do this vampire because I'm pumped about the vampires project. So we're going to get into the vampire mindset. And I had an idea, so let's talk about the vampire project because I think it's going to be interesting. My appreciation for Carl Rudick's vampires is pretty significant. I've painted just about all of them, I think. But my appreciation for his werewolves is significantly less. The werewolves suck. So I'm not painting the werewolves. So I just bought all the vampires from the project, although I didn't buy that chick on the throne, which I sort of regret. I think it would have been nice for that whole piece as a separate project, because I want to put all of the vampires in one scene in like a mausoleum, like a crypt, and then have some stained glass windows casting multicolored light on the ground. Multicolored moonlight, I guess. Thanks, mate. No, I'll paint the light. And I'm actually going to try making the stained glass window itself. So yeah, let me do a little drawing using this color. Yeah, so we've got, I'll zoom out a bit. So there's a big throne piece which is Kane the vampire sits on, right? And there's vampires that like hang off it, which is really cool. So then that'll be the central component, and they'll be on like a dais with some steps, marble floors, some description, and then like this is the first time I've plotted this out, by the way, so this is all in my head at the moment. Lady Sibylla's like dancing, like little thing like that. The other dude with the spear and the nice banners is going to be at the back. There's that chick who looks like with a really awesome moon axe. She's going to be walking down the stairs. And then I think there's one or two others. Oh yeah, there's the dude, the big Strigoi. they might have him hunched. But yeah, so I want there to be like a background, which is quite tall, with this sort of stained glass up here. Um, and then have that be pictured there, but then actually have the light that's illuminating the scene coming from this sort of direction, which is coming through a separate stained glass window, which will not be visible. And so the light that you'll get will be coming on this side, on this side, on this side, and it'll be a multicolored moonlight type of thing. That's my thoughts right now for a mausoleum. I haven't gotten any further than that because I haven't got the models, so I don't want to plot it out. I made that mistake in the past with Camelot. I haven't plotted it out anything else because I need to see the scale and so on. But I think that'll be an interesting interesting composition. I think it'll create some really interesting lighting opportunities to try and experiment with. Yeah, just feels like a fun project. I love vampires. The only vampire bust of his that I haven't painted, of all of the busts that he's done, because he's done fucking like 8 vampire busts. There's only been 2. I haven't done the Strigoi bust, and there's another one called Seraphim the Hunter. I haven't done that. I didn't do the Strigoi bust because I didn't think it was a very good sculpt. It was super hunched and he had massive deltoids, and it just looked comical to me. But the Seraphim the Hunter was just one I hadn't got around to. And Kane, the vampire, who might be able to do the old first vampire. Anyway, yeah, thanks, K Sauce. Let's hope. Let's hope it comes together okay. What you've probably started to see now, if you've been following along with my big projects over the last few months and years, I tend to have a lot of ideas, like, that pop into my head, and I don't always get to follow through with them immediately. Anyway, I think most of them I'll eventually get around to doing. I hope it will anyway. Look, it's a thing I talk about a lot. You've got to enjoy what you're doing. Like, if you're not enjoying what you're painting, what you're spending your time doing, you're literally doing the worst possible thing you can for your life. Just paint what you want to paint. Sometimes that will mean you don't finish anything. That's okay. As long as you're having fun while you're doing it, that's more important than a result. I think we all wish we could paint a bit quicker. Except for maybe me. Pretty happy with my speed. I've been doing the last few days. I've been on holidays. Been doing my board games, which I've been filming, which have been getting a very, very bad reception on my YouTube channel. Nobody gives a shit about my board games, which is fine. People signed up to be a miniature painting channel, and then all of a sudden I'm throwing board games at them. It's okay. To not like it. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun and will continue to do so. Unfortunately, for all of those people that just follow me for miniature painting content, I don't make content for you wonderful people. I make content for myself. Not as in I sit there watching it, as in I make content for the things that I'm excited about, not to pander to an audience. It's probably not the right term, it's a little bit aggressive. But what I have been doing the last few weeks has been in preparation for some of my tutorials. I learned a lot more about video editing and cutting together video. It's pretty exciting, actually. I learned how to do all sorts of cool stuff. And if you haven't seen it, here is what I did. Actually, this is the shit one. Oh, Nerdforge just put a new video out. Cool. Alright, I'll show you this actually. I'll show you this. You're the only ones who've seen this. But here you go. First of all, that's my public channel intro that you can see on my YouTube channel. The second one. The first one is my test for my painting videos for Iceworn. but I think I'm going to make a few little changes after the test. Yeah, the music's terrible, mate. Just relax. It's not the final music. It's just some test fucking stuff. Although I did upload one to my channel that says channel intro. But I'm trying to find change it to Rickroll. I'm trying to find a tune. One of my very good friends, Moopsy, is actually a musician, composer. So I've asked him to write me something. We'll see if he gets around to it. If not, we may just have to find a good piece of music from somewhere. From the internet. My point was I learned how to do cool shit in editing. Oh yeah, Evan Polka. I learned how to do really cool pan and zoom effects on videos. And it's changed my way of thinking about filming. A program called Power Director 365, my friend. Hmm. Can, mate. Let's do it. I'm in. Okay, let's go. You just tell me what you want to do. We'll do it. Cheers, indeed, upside down. There used to be a TV show in Brisbane, in Queensland, in Australia, called Mr. Squiggle. And it was a kid's show. It was about this dude, Mr. Squiggle, who was from the moon, and he used to come down from the moon and draw pictures. It was a kid show. I watched it when I was a kid, but he used to go. He used to draw his pictures upside down, and then when the person who was on the show was like, "I don't know what you're drawing, Mr. Squiggle," he would sing this little song, which was basically just upside down, and then you'd turn the picture up the right way. Mr. Squiggle was a genius. I'm telling you this story because Space Toy just came in and said upside down, lady. So upside down. Yeah, I did watch Round the Twist. Strange things happen. Are you going round the twist? The author is a Australian dude. And I actually read all the books before I watched the shows. You can still watch Round the Twist. It's on YouTube still. Okay. What are we going to do with this skin? I mean, it looks okay, but let's do the face. Let's worry about the face. What'd you buy, mate? I've been enjoying a lot of your recent projects, my friend. I don't know if it's anything specific, but just feels like you're enjoying what you're doing a little bit more. Yeah, I think there's a lesson in that for all of us, isn't there? Just paint what you want tends to result in better finished projects. Certainly does for me. I tell you what's a fucking wild challenge on this figure is all of the face volumes that you'd normally paint are upside down. So your immediate instinct about how to paint them is wrong. Just straight up wrong. It's such a mind melter. Yep. When you're doing the minor, all of the light reflections are coming from underneath. Wild. Do you need to empty a valve? Yes, you do. Not frequently, not like the end of every session, although I'm sure you could. Yep. Well, it depends. It's different for every compressor. That's okay. Mate, you open yourself up to newbie questions by setting yourself up a stream. If you're not willing to answer questions, you're doing a very, very bad job of streaming. So ask away. I will answer when I can and laugh at you when I can't. Tell you who I haven't seen in a while. What's that wonderful man's name? He started following the Cowboys with me. Wampa. Wampasaurus. Haven't seen Wampa. The Cowboys have finally started to come good, and the guy's not here to appreciate it with me. That's the third person today to come in and offer me followers. What are you trying to say, friends? Piss off. This is actually a really interesting challenge. I think so, yeah. I think just a couple of little splats with the airbrush will help. Let's do some light purple lips. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. It's one of us. Hmm. Hmm. I think I want to turn that just a little bit more peach colored, maybe. Let's try this. Cool. And let's get in there with a bit of contrast, maybe. Yeah, I think so. I think we'll go in with a yellowy orange. I just went for all in early bird thing for the moment. I'm gonna. It's too much. I'm gonna think about it because I'm only like really jazzed for two of the figures. Um, so we'll have to wait and see. I think if I'm gonna go for all of them. It's certainly not a project where I'm all dioramery. Yeah, I like the dude, the barbarian dude. Probably no surprise. Um, he's really good. Um, yeah, so I mean, I really like vampire, but I really like undead. I really like skeletons and stuff. So all the skeleton models are cool, but none of them scream out to me and be like, "Hey, Dino, you got to paint me, man." They're just cool skeletons, right? So I'd sort of be happy to buy them, but I'm not crying out for them. The necromancer riding on top of the thing is really great. It's one of the ones I want. And the barbarian dude on the horse and on foot is really cool. But that's just it's a generic sort of um, barbarian dude, which I like. So that's sort of where I'm at the moment. Um, yeah, they're good figures, but I just don't know. There's more Volupus pink. There you are. Yeah, I just don't know, basically. Thank you. feels like awful. You're not sure what this is supposed to be. Is this supposed to be hair? Let me check the reference model that I have right here. Huh, does not have that bit. Mm. I think it's supposed to be hair. Doop doop. Boop boop. XX Bobby underscore no name 85XX. Welcome, mate. Thanks for that. So I'm actually really not sure how I'm going to end up on the Chimera Kickstarter. Not sure. I think I'll be buying something. Just not sure that it'll be the extravaganza, which is probably good. G'day, I'm a pooty tat. Thank you. And thank you for those little triangles too. Yes. There was a question in the Discord the other day about what the next monthly challenge should be, and I said we should do dioramas consisting of 15 or more models. Unfortunately, it didn't go down all that well. I'm shocked. Zodiac's 13. I could make it work though. I'm sure of it. That's it. Counts. I feel like something's missing from this piece. Something is missing. What is it? What is it that we need? Is the answer some sort of weird markings on her skin? Some sort of like patterns and vein things? You know? Like the veins of a leaf. is that what we are missing? Or is that a terrible idea? All right, that's a good counterpoint. Just feels like there's something a bit off. Maybe I'll look at my reference piece again and see what Natalia's did. Chris P. G'day, mate. Early morning for you. What's happening, champion? I've been well, thank you. Just working on this pixie. What happened on Chris P's stream? I need to know. I need to know immediately. Here is a shout out for you, Chris P. This is going to take me a few minutes. Stand by. Ready. This is going to take me a few minutes. Oh, don't listen to me. Fuck. Go follow Chris P. There you go. That's all I've got. I need to know what happened. All right, where can I find this footage? Someone send me a clip. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for anything. I'm ready. Let's go. Hang on. Let's turn this on so we can all watch it at the same time.
Shut up about my beard. It is not ugly. It is a nice beard. Shut up about my beard. It is not ugly. It is a nice beard.
That's tremendous. What on earth are you doing to your face?
Oh, my chin! Don't look. Double chin makes me look stupid now. It's kind of rocket. Oh, my chin!
All right, I'm enjoying it.
Double chin makes me look stupid now. It's kind of rocket. Jesus Christ. Look at that thing. It's bigger than my first chin. It's bigger than that one. I look like a fucking thing from Star Wars. Double.
What a good looking bloke he is. Is he done this live on stream? That is lunacy. You got balls of solid steel, Chris. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. That's pretty good. That's a happy guy right there. Okay. The James Blunt one. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. I saw your face in a crowded space. And I don't know what to do. 'Cause I'll never be with you. That's tremendous, Chris. You really props for that, mate. If I could grow a beard, I'd do it. But I can't. went a bit Jar Jar there, did you, Crip Shadow? That's fucking cold. You're beautiful, it's true. Saw your face in a crowded space, and I don't know what to do, 'cause I'll never grow a beard like Crispy. Oh, Cryo, tremendous. Tremendous. Well done. Well done, all. What a good stream you must have had, mate. Nah, good on you, champion. Have you actually been painting recently, mate, or are you just shaving off beards? Thanks, buddy. Cool. Oh, yeah, there's a Golden Demon in the UK this year, isn't there? After Adepticon. Second one. It's exciting. We're just trying to ascertain why I feel like something's not working on this. I think I need to do something else. But I'm not really sure what. I was tossing up some veins, like leaf veins on the skin, but it's very pastel colors is my problem with it. Which is exactly what I decided to try and paint with. See you, Mr. and Mrs. Crafting. Have a good evening, whichever one of the two of you it is. And if it's both, have a good evening to both of you. Thank you for the follow to all of those people who followed just then. I was a bit distracted by Chris P's glorious beard. Me, the 3 figures I did on one base. You'll have to be a little more specific. Oh, here you go, everyone. If you haven't seen this, this is my last project that I did a big. Well, it's not my last project, but I did this. Thank you, Hug of War. Yeah, get into them. They're the best fun. Maybe I'm just gonna. I think I know what it is. See you, buddy. Thanks for the raid. I think I know what it is. I think it is that we have no focal point on the face. And I think that is the case because of the pose. Okay, match fixer. Crowded space, and I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm just fucking about now. I don't feel like I'm adding any value. Wampa! Mate, I literally was just talking about you before. I was like, man, I haven't seen Wampa in a while. The fucking Cowboys have finally started to come good, and I haven't been able to talk to him about it. I'm doing well, mate. Thanks, Cryo Cheese. Enjoy the lurk. Add some turquoise. Pterodon turquoise. A lot of good young players that have started to find their place. Jeremiah Nanai and Halen Lukey, two back rowers. Griffin Dean's playing well. Ruben Cotter is a lunatic. But yeah, Chad Townsend and Tommy Dearden have started really well. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. I do understand, mate, and I didn't know you were streaming. When have you been streaming? What times? See if I can catch one. Just gonna go and follow you right now. Let me Let me go and grab the elves from the thing and tell me if these are the ones. Are these the ones? They're from Miniacs Kickstarter. They're wood elves. Thanks, mate. That's probably a pretty tough time slot for me. As I am at work normally. Alright, I feel like I'm just fucking about and not actually doing anything, so maybe we're just going to call her there. I like her too. Oh, look. I think it's hard. It's a hard balance to strike with the face getting enough contrast and not it just looks weird because she's upside down. Everything feels weird about her. Let's do this actually. Okay, let's try just a little more contrast on the face. Shit, I didn't even know that there was an Easter sale happening. Shows you just how good I am at Kingdom Death. Pixie, two streams, 6 hours ish. Roger. I think I've cracked it, friends. we just needed some colour in the face. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Hixie. You could, mate. You could. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking fuck. Oh, look, I think that alone has made me feel much better about this piece. I need a red. I do indeed paint almost every day. Probably not as religiously as I used to, but it does make a difference. That is very important. G'day, Anto. I just went too far. Couldn't stop myself. Let's try it with an airbrush. Let's be absolute lunatics and try and do this with an airbrush. I'm going to try and do it. With a stable model on the table. Tried to write my name super small, but I reckon I probably could. Just like everything, mate. Airbrushing, brush painting, juggling. It's all about practice. All right, let's stop messing about with a good thing here, I think. That has made a tremendous amount of difference. I am very pleased by that decision. Good work, Dano. Gonna have to tweak with my my aperture and depth of field settings, I think. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, this is the problem with pastels, all right? The problem with pastels, unless you're very good at painting, which I'm not, is it's really hard to make them feel alive. You can't make pastels feel alive because people that look alive have, you know, warmth in their skin and very hard to do pastels in a way that's convincing and interesting. I don't think I'm going to see The Northman in theaters. No, it looks fine, but doesn't look like a film that I need to jump out of my skin to see. like the Thor and Doctor Strange, which I am jumping out of my skin to see. Yeah. It'll be fine, but yeah. Who's the director? Where is Chalice Red? I feel like that is the exact color that I need. Oh, yep. There you are. Good decision. Why the fuck is everything struggling to get on camera today? Feel like this is my first stream. All right. I think I really like this now. I might just try doing something a bit weird though. See how I feel about it. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, I talked a little bit about it earlier in the stream, mate. I'm getting some of the stuff from it, but I don't know that I'm going to go full ham on it. It's some nice models and some new paints which I would like, but no crazy dioramas or anything, my friend. So but this is one of the hardest faces I have ever had to paint. And that is because it is upside down. It just messes with all of your rules. All of your rules. I think I have cracked it. I think so. I think we have cracked it. All right, so let's just add a couple of little sparkly lights. G'day, Javat. Thanks for following, mate. Yeah, the paints are really good. I mean, I use them pretty much on every paint job these days. They have um, good colors and bad colors. Strongly recommend the core set. Very much like the Pizarski non-metallic metal set. The second set, the newest set, not as impressive to me. But yeah, I would highly recommend getting the core set and the Michael Pizarski set. I reckon those are the only ones that have colors that I actually use with any regularity. G'day, Ryan. Tell you what, mad props to anyone who's ever painted this model. It is a fucking challenging model. Very challenging. I think I'm done there. Sure do. See why I like hers, why I bought hers. Hmm. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's just a few little bits of wood that I wanted to finish on this guy as well. So we're going to finish off 2 projects today. Do, 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 do. This model was extremely difficult to paint. Extremely difficult. It's awesome, but it's a real challenge. So if you purchase it, which I highly recommend you do, prepare for a challenge. Awesome, Hixie. There's no one thing that makes me feel like it's difficult. And yet, when I look back at the paint job, I'm just like, wow, that was so complex. There's so many little interlocking parts that you need to like get right, I guess. And if you don't quite, I'll say this, anytime you have a model that doesn't have a face, like a clear face, it is hard. You always feel like you're lacking when you don't have a face that you can stare into. For a bust, anyway. And so what happens is you're putting a lot of expectation, if you will, onto the mask to do the heavy lifting and make the figure look alive. And the mask is a inanimate object, and that makes it very tough. This is probably a bust that would be really, really good to do, like that one that Kirill did for, you know, that really cool robot cyberpunk like dude that was done in red and blue. He did it for his book, I think. You know what I'm talking about. That one. G'day, Vincenzo Celeste, the great man. I'd loved your little Hashoma for the Chimera Kickstarter, bud. Very cool. Cool to see you doing heaps of box arts and stuff. Congratulations. That's good reward for all of your hard efforts, hard work. I'm doing really well, mate. Thank you. I'm sort of finishing off a few little projects at the moment. I'm doing this one. I think we're going to call them both a day today. Yep. I did a version of that. We went and found it on my stream the other day because I was like, yeah, I've painted that. It's a very hard model. Ah, thanks, mate. No, I'm unfortunately probably not going to make it overseas for Monty or anything this year. So next year, I hope you and I will be able to catch up and have a beer at one of the events. It's just a really long way to travel. You know, it's 22 hours of flying to get anywhere in Europe, basically. G'day, Chewbeck Beck. just takes a super long time, so it's hard to. That's the color I needed to use. It's hard to justify for a short period of time. So I like to make it a long trip. You know, spend 4 or 5 weeks. So generally, in the past, I've gone to Monty and SMC in the same trip, which has been awesome. Yeah, it isn't cheap. It's about return flights at the moment are about 3-4 grand Australian, which is quite a lot. Yeah. I mean, in the past, you'd be able to get a return flight to Europe for about 1,500, and that's just not the case now, unsurprisingly. Thanks, buddy. No, I mean, I think I'll definitely be there next year, and I'll probably put together a specific piece for it. A lot of the stuff that I do these days, it's probably not suitable for that event anyway because it's so impractical to travel with. So I'll probably do something a little more focused and a little bit more designed around competing next year. Whatever I'm doing here is awful, by the way. I'm hating every second of it. Oh, no. I think Golden Demons would be pretty easy to enter, but I wouldn't. There's none in Australia, so yeah. That's let me give you a bit of context of the size of this project if you haven't seen it. Here it is, side by side with my head. This is my diorama. Here it is side by side with this figure. Here, I'll throw it up and down a bit. Just fix it. No big deal. Just fix it. Hey, that's a good question, mate. I think anyone who says they didn't experience that sort of feeling is probably not telling the truth. You always have a moment in time when your skill ceiling and your knowledge ceiling aren't aligned. So I'll do a little drawing for you. So you have a little graph. Here's my graph. Tremendous. And so what tends to happen with your skill is you tend to go, you know, sort of like this. Usually you flatten out a bit and you'll have a burst when you do a class or whatever, and you go like this. Right? So your skills are pretty good, normal progression. But your knowledge tends to go like this. I'll do it in a different color. So you usually go like this, and then you'll learn something. You'll go, and then you'll learn something. And you'll go, and then you'll learn something. This is a pretty normal like progression, because whenever you learn something new, or you see something and you're like, wow, that technique's amazing, and you start thinking about how to do it, you haven't yet programmed your hands or you learned the ability to do that, right? So there'll always be this little gap between what you know is possible and what you yourself can do. So if you do not at any point feel like, wow, I'm not doing, as well as I want to do, you're probably not pushing yourself enough. But yeah, this is a normal thing. The real key, and absolutely the key for life, is Winston Churchill said, it's one of my favorite quotes: success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. The more that you look at, try to achieve this and fail and think about why you didn't succeed and continue to push, continue to do things, that's what pushes your skill up. You need to be able to take the fact that you're not doing as good a project as you want to do, and drive yourself forward with that, for your next project. That's just, yeah, that's life, I think. Just being able to convince yourself that you can learn more and keep trying. So to answer your question, talk to the end. To answer your question, absolutely, I feel frustrated that my abilities do not match up with my visions. That happens quite regularly, but that's normal and totally fine. There'll be situations when I will do something and I'll be like, yeah, that's fucking awesome, Dano, you're the best. And then there'll be situations where I'm like, why am I so bad at everything that I'm doing right now? You're always on that journey, and that's okay. As I said, it's about not getting disheartened by that journey. Not being like, oh man, I'm not as good as I want to be. I'm giving this shit up. Because really, you'll never be as good as you want to be. And if you do, it's probably time to start a new hobby. Take up a new project. Because if you're ever as good as you want to be at something, you're done. Kirill's always pushing himself to do new and interesting things, and every time you think, oh, Kirill's got nothing else he can do, he's the king, he comes out with a fucking model that has non-metallic metal that has the reflections of a banner on it. And you're just like, what is wrong with you, mate? So yeah. Skill and knowledge ceiling. Always fighting against each other. Yeah, Kirill isn't human. He's an alien. Sent down from an alien species to help further our miniature painting in this world, so they can one day come down, join us. Love Kirill. He's a nice man too, actually. Tried to invite him to Australia to do some classes. And he said, yeah, sounds good. And then he said, no. Because it's like, it's a lot of travel. Everyone's come over, had a really good time. Like, Roman Gruber's come over, Masklins has come over, Andy Wardle's come over, Craftwell came over, Kaha came over, Putrick from Nico Galaxy. Everyone loves it over here when they get here, but it's a mission. All right, mate. Thanks, Wampa. Yeah, make sure you watch some of the Cowboys games, pal. They've come good. Get up, Cowboys. Get up. G'day, Tarker. Thanks, mate. All right. That's 2 projects done today. How great. Yeah. He would give him one, wouldn't he? All right, so we got this. Yeah, that was just a matte varnish. We got this chick. Very pleased. I might do a couple of little grassy strands down here, maybe. Yeah, I think that might work. No, I'm going to do moss. I got moss. I'm going to do moss. Let's do that. Done him. And then I think I might, for the last little bit, assemble this Kane, the Last Vampire. Girl, that. Yeah, some moss. Before I glue this down, however, let's actually put one couple on and see if it looks any good without gluing. The vampire, it is, yeah. I might just need to, yeah, I think we'll do it. I'm just going to need to do a little bit of painting on it. Kane, the Last Vampire, is from Carol Rudick. I love Carol Rudick's vampires. When I went to SFC, I met him. I was like, oh, hey, man, I love your vampires. And he was like, thanks, man. And then I think he realized, because he went and looked at, because I did my main entry from for that SMC was just his 2 figures, was the Angel Amitriel and the Demon. And he was like, oh man, is that yours? He came back and found me. He's like, is that yours? I was like, yeah, man. He's like, oh, awesome. And then we talked about his vampires and how I'd painted all his vampires. It was so cool. I was like, yeah. That must be a really interesting feeling, right? Like creating figures for people to paint, and then seeing those people create stuff like it, because you're almost putting something out into the world and going, hey, check this out. This is something I made for you. And then, because you'd never be able to predict how people would approach it. It'd be interesting. All right, a little bit of Pterodon turquoise to finish us off. I have, yes, I have. One of my plans for the future is to, yeah, get a figure sculpted. Yeah. I was talking about it, I think I talked about it for my Wizard of Oz. I initially planned on doing it for Wizard of Oz. Not as much of a lunatic as Swinson is, though. That guy's just getting bigger after figure sculpted. What a champion. All right. I am calling time on that project. That was a more interesting challenge than I expected it to be. Oh, look at this hand. Yes. Yes. Oh, there's still a tiny little bit of the mold right there. Like the actual silicon mold. Funny. This is his veiny old head. Wow, look at that. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the casting process, the original figure is turned into a silicon mold, which for the silicon you can just buy from like a store, and then they put the resin in it and they create a master. But they don't last forever. You usually have to remake the mold after a while. That's what this sort of line here is from. It's from the actual mold itself starting to come apart. Kingdom Death Syndrome, as I like to call it. Top knows what's up. No, unfortunately, you cannot do that. Does not work. Well, it does. It's just not good quality. That's all. I love this guy's face. He's got fingers, face, he's got bangles. You know you're a good vampire when you've got bangles, eh? When you're so old that you don't give a fuck that you're wearing bangles. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow. Grr, R. Whoa, is this his neck piece? Look at this. Man, this is why I love Carol's vampires. They just got such awesome gothic iconography stuff. It's great. Oof, love it. Love it. Get in there, mate. Thank you. Oh, look at that. He's got a big old neck hole. That's awesome. Look at his long neck. He's like a giraffe. They start calling him Giraffe. Giraffe the last vampire. Yeah. Yeah, mate. Seen a giraffe. There's a photo of me with a giraffe at a zoo. This guy is Giraffe, the last vampire. That's a fair observation, mate. Turtleneck. Look at my hand. I am reaching to grab you. Man, this is great. This is for his bangles. Ah, I might have to glue the bangles on before I put the hand on. Bangles. G'day, Rory Rudden. Thanks for the follow, champion. Okay, the last one. Looks as though each of these bangles has a specific spot. I hate it when figures do this. And they're like, let's make it extremely difficult to assemble you. Thanks, friend. I appreciate that. Not even a little bit. I don't know if I want all these bangles. Oh no, I broke the bangle. I knew it was going to happen. One of them. Where does this one go? Oh, this one goes here. Alright, so this one's got to go on last. Tragedy, and the feeling's gone and you can't move on, it's tragedy. Are these bangles joined? No. Ugh. Man. Too many bangles, Carol. Alright. Fucking had enough. In the future, I want a maximum of 3 bangles per model. 5's right out. Three shall be the number of the counting, and the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 shall you not count, neither shalt thou 2, excepting that then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. That'll be before your time, Top. You're an 11-year-old, mate. You've never seen that. Come on, now. Do you really? It's pretty cool, man. Oh, my dad didn't like Monty Python. He thought it was just absolute ridiculousness. And then I watched it and I was like, Dad, this is the best. And he said, you're no longer my son. I said, Dad, that's a bit harsh. He said, I'm ashamed to know you. No, that's not true. My dad is an absolute legend. Absolute legend. Old Francesco. He's been my dad my whole life. I gotta stop. Tell you this though, he didn't wear fucking bangles. All right, the toughest part about these bangle situations sounds like a weird one, but you really want the bangles to dangle in a natural way, and so they sort of need to hang downwards a little bit more. This is very tricky. Which one? I'm not really up to speed on programming languages. All I know is about C++ and HTML. That's about the extent of my knowledge. What? Oh, Python. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all night and I work all day. May have made sense. Oh. To do this separately. I'm just gonna so this is empty. This is my zip kicker. I keep it in the fridge. It makes it last longer. So I'm just gonna put some more in. I bought a refill bottle rather than buy a whole new container. Because the refill bottle, because I'd always spill it. I was like, well, I'll just fill it up a little bit less so that if I spill it, I'm not losing as much. It's a good strategy. I'm very pleased. Okay. We just need the big bangle. If you don't know what the zip kicker is, it's a superglue accelerant, which will make your superglue dry almost instantaneously, and it is possibly one of the best, like tricks you pick up along the way is using that stuff. It is just so good. All right, reasonably happy with that. I think we're just going to fill the big chunky mold line here. We're going to do that in a different way. Actually, really unhappy with this head piece. It's a bad join. Very bad join. We can make it work. He's a cool bust, but geez, he's got a weird. Look at the shape of him. It's so cool. All right, let's glue these fingerinos down. Use a little bit too much glue there, Dino. You'll be right, mate. Get in there, finger. Looks like we're going the other way. This one. Followed by this one. Okay, let's go. Oh, it changed my Dremel bit. Wonder what I was cutting with that. I don't remember. One of the little quality of life improvements that I've made, and someone asked me this question, I bought a brass rod tubing of the exact diameter that matches my drill bit. It sounds like an obvious fucking thing, right? But I didn't do it. Circle plinth? No. I think this one. Yeah, this one feels right. Have I got a what? A live edge plinth? You mean like one of the ones that it's all cut up? That would be cool. I think no, the dude who I used to get those from, I haven't been able to get one from him for a while. Yeah. Um, no, no, they're all thingy. Yeah, I had a couple of really awesome plinths where there was satin varnish on one side and then just like the natural wood, and it was unreal. Whee! Cool. Here's another fun trick for your friends. Well, I hope this is going to be a good trick. The gluing that bit into is not the trick, but if you get a tubing that slides over the top of this first one, which this one isn't. Good trick, Jenna. You can get a tube that slides over the top, which widens it up, which is actually pretty useful sometimes. Because, yes, well, good story. This is going well. It's been a great stream, Jenna. One of your best. No, that's not going to fit. I think I might paint this plinth black anyway. Well, this is a pretty nice. Coloured wood. But yeah, that's cool. What a cool figure. Really cool angles, interesting angles. I like it. Got a fair bit of gut filling to do though. a fair bit. I wonder if I'll get that done today so I can paint this tomorrow on Party Monday. And that is the question, isn't it? All right. Well, friends, it has been an absolute pleasure today. I've enjoyed myself a lot. And I'm glad to say that. I'm glad to say that. Because there was a couple of streams there where I was like, oh, I don't really feel like streaming today. I don't really want to do this. And then I did it. I did do it, and it was enjoyable. What are the other options for Party Monday? Well, what are the other options? I've got a few. I've got a few like projects sitting up there on the go right now that I could do. Yeah, I'll just quickly show you some of my projects that are sitting here that need to be finished. This guy, I could finish him off. Could do some pretty cool stuff with him now, I think. I have this little cool turtle guy who's been sitting on my shelf for fucking years. And I really like the model, but years. G'day, Rough Luck Games. I prepared this bust for painting years ago and then just never got around to painting it, but I do like it. It's a little orc buccaneer type chap. What a cool guy. And then this piece, which has been sitting there forever. It's from a radio. It's a Hippogriff chick. So maybe we could paint one of those, perhaps. We'll see. We will see. Little turtle guy, hey? He's cool. Yeah, that's a lot of feathers. That would be an airbrush special, that one, mate. I would airbrush those and call them a day. Couple little highlights. Magic. I finished off Spider Gwen, by the way. Sending her off to the people soon. Sign my name. Fun. You've probably seen a lot of people doing projects for that on your social medias. It's very cool to be a part of. Very privileged. A lot of photos to take this afternoon. Like 5 photos. I'm gonna have to rejig my camera settings again. Cool. All right. Let's go find someone to raid. Yes, blue shoes. That's what she's got. Let's go find someone to raid. Me somebody to raid, find me somebody to raid, find Nallen TV, when I get a new bust? Look, mate, that's an interesting question, really. I mean, the first thing I think about is the environment. You know, where is this model situated? Because that can sometimes give you some thoughts about the color scheme. You know, if you're not sure. Because if you immediately determine, oh, this is in a cold environment, that can shape your color scheme. If you think, oh, they're in a forest, they're in a beside a campfire, they're casting magic. The environment will determine a lot about the color palette. So that's usually where I start. Spoodly Doodler. I don't think I've seen this guy before. He's eating. Spoodly. It's not happening, mate.
First, let's get Cerebral's roll. Hold on. Cerebral, we rolled a 9, so that it says no, but I can't pull the camera over here, but I wish you could see her.
What is this lady doing?
Like, moving, please? That's right where I need to be, Pups. That's right. I need to be, like, right here.
There's a dog. I'm in.
Can you move, honey?
Oh no, I do. I have rated her already. I follow her.
I'm sorry, guys. Nara has taken over the stream.
Let's rate her.
Yeah,
She seems nice.
This quick to the rescue. Skelly the diet murderer. Yeah. I unironically.
Yeah, it's
exactly that stat.
It's not an easy thing to do, right? Come up with a good atmosphere and environment to paint a bust in, but you think about that, and that'll usually influence, your lighting, the color palette, all that sort of stuff. So.
Hey Nara, here, let's try this. Maybe if I.
Apparently, I can't raid Skelly B. She only accepts raids from friends, teammates, and followed channels.
She's like, well, that's too close. Come here. Come on, Nara. Come on.
You're missing out, Skelly B. I was about to raid you and you were going to have a great time.
Like 2 inches. Nara, I need you. I know.
Alright, well in that case, we're raiding All Might, All for One, because he is a legend who's been in the stream many times. Thanks, Rapid Transit. Thanks, mate. Alright, friends. Awesome. I'll be back for Party Monday. We'll be painting something. We'll figure it out. Thanks for the follow, Bunhead. Toodaloo.
Oh my God.
Catch you all.
Dr. Rhino, Oshi, what's up? Hello, hello. Good to see you.